Hi, everyone. Welcome to the F.A.I.L. Podcast. I'm your host, Melody, and I am so happy you are joining me today. And since you're here, I have a question I want you to think about. Are you ready to fail? And yes, I am serious. I want you to think about if you are ready to fail. And just in case it sounds odd or a bit crazy, let me rephrase it by asking it this way. If you wanted more freedom in your life, would you be ready to fail? If you could feel more acceptance in your life, would you be ready to fail? Would you be ready to fail if the outcome helped give you more inspiration in your life? Would you be ready to fail if it helped you think more limitless about your life? So thinking about it in those terms, I'll ask the original question again. Are you ready to fail? Now, typically, when I first hear or think about the word fail, a rush of negative emotions and feelings come to mind. Emotions such as anger and anxiety, disappointment and embarrassment, feelings of fear and insecurity, sadness, self-doubt, shame, and worry. These are all really common human emotions and ones I have personally felt during the fails in my life. And I'm sure a lot of you have as well. But I have found that along with these common human emotions, also sometimes comes a negative self-perception of how we view ourselves because of our failures. Instead of identifying what failed and why, we put the focus on ourselves as a failure. This is something I have done throughout my entire adult life, and something I would imagine most people have done too. You know what? I bet most people can even recall the first time they truly felt like a failure. Let me tell you my first time. While I was attending grade and middle school, I was really involved in a lot of school programs. Between student council, pride group, the pep squad, and my personal favorite, cheerleading in the 8th grade, I was in everything. I felt good about my life and pretty confident going into high school. But this is where things started to change and my view of myself shifted. Because I enjoyed being a cheerleader and performing, I naturally went out and tried for my high school cheerleading squad. But to my surprise and embarrassment, I didn't make the team. And of course, I was devastated, but I said to myself, okay, Mel, let's regroup and try out for the drill team. It looked really cool and fun, and I would still be performing, but just in a different capacity. But I didn't make the cut for that team either. And to say I was devastated is an understatement. But on top of that, I also felt like a complete failure. This plan I had in my head failed. And to me, it failed because I was a failure. And in that moment, I lost my confidence and I didn't know what I would do next. The pain, embarrassment, and disappointment I felt from that fail really made me hesitate to try a lot of other things. That feeling of loss and failure unfortunately stayed with me throughout not only my high school years, but well beyond that too. And I bet if you're listening right now, you may connect a little or a lot to my story. But either way, regardless of the situation, the damage of feeling like a failure can have a negative impact on our lives if we allow it. To fail at something will simply be a part of all of our lives, but it's not meant to scare us, shame us, or keep us stuck. When we fail, it's really just the beginning of us learning, growing, and living within our lives. What I have come to realize is that many valuable lessons can be gained from our fails if we accept them, choose to embrace them, keep what we learned from them, and hopefully grow because of them, and not to feel like a failure because of them. Truth is, a fail in your life can be your superpower, and we should be ready to fail. I really hope now me asking the question, "Are you ready to fail?" doesn't sound as crazy of a question as it may have before. So, in my next episode, I'm going to share more about myself and answer my own question and tell you why. Before you go, please follow, like, share, and subscribe to the F.A.I.L. podcast. And I would love it if you would drop down to the comment section and say hello and let me know if you are ready to fail. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch up with you next time.